Hey guys, how's it going? So, I think a long while back, one of my earlier videos, I made a video on, boom, how to do horizontal yo-yo tricks, and I actually got quite a lot of views. I mean, I was quite surprised. I mean, at the time, horizontal was like the make or break. It separated the top players from the bottom players, and like if you couldn't play it, it was really difficult to score high. These days, you know, everyone can play horizontal, and it's literally just trickled down so everyone can do it. So nowadays, if you don't play horizontal, no big deal. You can probably still win a yo-yo competition, right? But the point of it remains is that horizontal, at least when you're trying to try it out, is pretty difficult. It opens up a new dimension of yo-yoing, okay? So there's so many variables you have to worry about, and the main thing about horizontal yo-yoing is the angle, or the tilt, right? Boom. So when you I don't even know if I can do this sitting down, but alright, when you throw the yo-yo, right, you can see that the yo-yo here is horizontal, right? And it looks horizontal, but what happens is, if I don't land it very well, after a while, it goes back to normal, right? Why is this? And how can you avoid it? Well, it comes down to pretty much your accuracy and how cleanly you land it, okay? So, yeah, you know what? Let's go check this out. So, when playing horizontal, right, the first thing you want to know is just literally throw the yo-yo and do it horizontal, right? Now, I've been playing horizontal for a really long time, right? So, I don't know, when I'm doing it, it might seem a little bit easier than it actually is, right? But horizontal is actually a very, very difficult thing to do, right? It's just so many people can do it now that it doesn't give you a competitive edge in competition anymore, right? But more often than not, people want to learn, so okay. Now the very first step in ensuring your yo-yo doesn't tilt back to normal is learning your combo really well, okay? So what I'm doing is is something called skin the gerbil, right? So it's kind of like my own variation. Literally, I just landed there once, landed there again, and swing around and landed there, okay? Very simple and easy trick to do, okay? Now, before I attempted that horizontally, I could do it ridiculously easy. I was an expert at this trick. Like, I could literally do it with my eyes closed, okay? So that is how well I could do that trick. So when I went to do it horizontally, right, even though I had a little bit of difficulty at first, I could do it really easy because I can land it really efficiently and not screw up on any of the tricks, right? Now let's say I wasn't very good at skin the gerbil. So, alright, I'm gonna yo-yo with my left hand now, right? So, you can see here, right, that my landing isn't as clean as it usually would be, right? So, if I tried... I'm not sure if I can do this. Yeah, things I do. Alright. So if I tried, what happened was sooner or later, it would come back to normal. Why? Because I'm literally not good enough at the trick, right? And this is something that I forgot to mention in my very first tutorial, but if you're gonna try a trick horizontally, make sure you can do it really well. If you don't do it really well, what happens is you can't land it efficiently enough for it to stay horizontal. That's simply how it is. Pretty much the reason the yo-yo is tilting back is because the way you're landing it is sloppy. And if you do it a couple sloppy moves, it's going to jerk the yo-yo back and forward, and eventually it's going to tilt back. So the best way to fix this is learn the trick really well, okay? Now, there was going to be a point in time where even though I'm pretty bad at it, I can still land it pretty well, right? And the next part is practice, okay? So, the more you throw the yo-yo horizontally, right? The more you try it out, the more you practice, eventually you're gonna get it, right? And you can't really get that from just playing with the yo-yo normally all the time. So, as counterintuitive as it sounds, learn the combo really well and then practice it horizontally a lot, right? So the more efficient you become at playing horizontally, the easier the angle will maintain. Now, when people are first beginning horizontal, what happens is the main thing is that they're like, oh man, this is really scary, and oh, let's just keep the yo-yo as far away from me as possible. And that's alright, okay? And a lot of people, it's kind of funny, but they're throwing the yo-yo barely at an angle. They're like, oh, yep, that's horizontal. Woo! It's not really, right? So the best way to overcome this is literally throw the yo-yo horizontally and just swing it around, okay? Practice. You're not going to get there on one go. No one does, okay? It's a very difficult style of trick to do, right? But to reduce the yo-yo's probability of tilting or falling out of control, step number 1, practice your trick and know your trick really, really well before you attempt to do it horizontally, okay? And it's kind of cool, but after a while, right, you can do a lot of tricks horizontally. This is a combo of mine, right? And it's okay, it's not that bad, but because, you know, I'm relatively seasoned at horizontal now, I can go and do it without too much effort. Right? Okay, well, that was a little bit sloppy, but you get the idea, right? Now, don't get thrown off by, like, how kind of easy I make it seem and how difficult it will be when you first try it, okay? Believe me, it took ages to get to the level I'm at right now, okay? Just keep practicing and keep trying, right? I've been playing for 5 years. So, what you want to do is just keep at it, right? Keep at it. Learn simple combos. And if a skin the gerbil is too difficult for you, start off with the trapeze. Boom. And bind. Start off with the trapeze. And then try something else, okay? It doesn't matter, right? As long as you land what you're trying to do horizontally efficiently and with minimal interference, it'll stay horizontal, okay? And this is going to take practice, it's going to take time, it's going to take dedication, but after a while, you'll be playing horizontal really well, okay? So, yeah, see you guys next time.